right weight, never out of my lane. Feel like you the one and I'm on one. So what it's gonna be? Baby squad up, we finna go deep. Riding on a team, got what you need. Baby, won't you keep me company? Give me something to do when I get lonely. I got something for you when we get home. If you let me put it down, when I hit the town, you should ride on.
Yo, everybody, what's good? Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Humble Baddies.
Hey, y'all.
What's up?
What's up?
I'm your girl, Alexis Stoudemire.
I'm Sharelle.
And I'm
Rosado.
Ashley Nicole, and we are
We are the Humble Baddies. What y'all been up to? I haven't seen y'all in a while. What's everybody been up to this past weekend, the last few days?
Ashley and I had us a good time last night. I mean, not last night, yesterday. We had did the open house. Ashley has a nice house that's on the market right now. And then it was raining. We was like, girl, let's go get us something to eat and drink. We got stuck at the brunch spot.
We got stranded at the oh no.
Y'all were stranded, you said?
Yeah,
Yes.
I got stranded because it started raining and they wouldn't give us our cars. So I said, let's go back to the bar and have another drink or two.
We were drinking away.
I mean, that doesn't sound like a bad being stranded type of situation, you know.
We
might
needed
as well
that time
cheers
to
it
catch
back
up because your ass been on the move, my love. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
real been moving.
you know, what's new? What's new, Rel? What you got going on?
I mean, I was on tour.
We know. Where was you at? What you was doing?
We know.
Spill the tea.
I mean, I was handling business, you know.
Okay. Just business, no pleasure?
Just business. No
Okay.
pleasure.
She's a lady of her business.
But you got to be able to, you know, balance both business and pleasure, whether it's a good night out.
What do y'all
good
consider
evening.
pleasure? What is pleasure?
Pleasure is having company, you know, or being in company, being in the presence of other people who are not there for the exchange of,
For business.
Yeah, business.
The pleasures of love and happiness and joy and time.
Unfortunately, if I did have any pleasure, y'all would not know. No, I'm joking. If that was pleasure, y'all know y'all would be the first one. But it wasn't no pleasure.
Okay.
It was straight business.
All right.
But as long as you have a good time, you know, and enjoy it, I'm not mad at it.
What you got going on, Sexy Lexi?
I had an empty house, so I left. I had friends that were like, you know what, come through, let's hang out. And I did. And it was the best weekend I've had in a long time of just pleasure and not really, it's no business because I am out of school, culinary school for spring break.
That sounds like
no kids, none of that. Yeah, because they were coming off of spring break. I do. And I feel like I'm gonna start saying yes more when people are like, yo, come through, come hang out, let's celebrate life, because that's what it's about. And you know, I'm being really conscious of who I'm taking the time with and spending that time with, you know what I mean? So it was really refreshing just to relax, have a good time, go to brunch, eat, chill out, all that kind of stuff.
Cool. Well, I just added 10 more mouths to feed to my household.
10?
Yeah, I got 10 babies.
Oh no!
We
what kind of babies you got over there?
We ain't gotta pay $50 for no eggs no more.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness!
Officially a chicken lady. I got me 10 baby chicks.
Yay!
Yes. And I'm so happy. I feel like a new mom.
I think I might be a little jealous, actually.
Are you? Don't be jealous. Come on.
I might need to come over. Yeah. I'm gonna have to come over and see. I've always wanted to see.
She need a sitter in a couple of weeks. So
oh no!
Help take care of my chickens because Sharelle is trying to steal me away. So you know, I want to come through and pet my chickens because I want my chickens to be happy, loving chickens. Like you know, like this is a fair exchange. They're a part of the family. You know what I mean? I'm not just going to be taking their eggs. They are, you know what I mean? My family members.
Yeah.
I got a name.
Are they 4 eggs?
Yes, they're 4 eggs. So I got 10 baby chicks. They're all like around 2 weeks old, but so they won't lay eggs till like August.
Oh wow, that fast.
That's fast, bitch. I want eggs tomorrow.
Well, I'm saying if they're babies now, and then in August they can have they can have babies.
To be feeding 10 mouths and they're not giving me no eggs back. But you know, it is what it is. I'll let them grow and develop or whatever.
You have 1 rooster?
No, I didn't get any roosters. Well, actually, I don't know if any of them will turn out to be roosters, but you don't need a rooster.
Oh.
You don't need a rooster.
Oh, so okay. So I'm learning. I didn't know the chickens just
actually gonna give us.
They just have eggs without.
Yeah, so the hens will lay. They just won't be fertilized egg. You only need a rooster if you want to have fertilized eggs. Like if you plan on hatching.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, are they loud right now? Like do they chirp and like make noise?
Chirp, but it's real cute right now. It's gonna get louder later. But
you should have brought one in. You should have tell Phil them to bring one so we can see.
They're not here. They're not here. When they get here, they will. Girl, my kids love the chickens.
My goodness.
Like
I was just about to ask.
Happy.
I know the boys.
It's like black boy joy over here. Like it is so beautiful to see them like excited about something that's not, you know, an iPad and not a video game, not a Roblox. So like to see them outside enjoying like nature and enjoying something that is a passion of mine. Just having
Serenity and I are going to come over tomorrow so she can
love that.
Yes. Oh my God. I'm telling everybody.
Gonna chase that. I'm
gonna start charging people though $10 a pet. Y'all want to pet my babies? It's $10. Start me a little pet.
Yeah, speaking of babies,
I love that.
And pregnancy. Let's talk about our girl Coi Leray. She has been in the block for, you know, responding to a fan. Her birthday is coming up. She's gonna be 28 years old. She looks amazing.
She looks great.
She asked for advice on X. She asked her fans to give her advice stepping into this new chapter. And one of the fans clapped back, came and said basically something about you should have a better choice of choosing your child's father.
So she was asking, you know, for advice, and that was what they said back to her. That was their advice to choose.
One of the fans.
That's horrible.
Yeah, no, that's messed up because how come it's always the lady who is like, it's her fault. Like it's her fault that, you know, she chose wrong or the situation didn't work out. I think that's a very judgmental way to go about it.
Mm-hmm.
The comment was, don't get pregnant by dudes that don't really care about you. Guess that should have been last year's advice too. Next time.
I mean,
and her response was,
I feel like we women, we know, but you know, we be falling in love or we just having fun or whatever the case may be. But it goes both ways. And it doesn't matter, like, once you realize, like, you have sex and there's a baby coming, it doesn't matter on both parts. Everybody has to step up to the occasion. So we can't, like, blame the lady on what the man is and ain't and what he's capable or ready or not ready to do.
Right. I feel like us as women, we give everyone, like, that's just people in general. You give everyone a clean slate, a fair chance, because every experience is different, right? So her going into this, she's a woman, we're emotional creatures. She's thinking like, you know, a man goes, you know, they don't show their true colors all at once. Like they're going to wine and dine you when you first meet. So she's thinking like, okay, I love him. We're about to have a baby, but things, you know, the truth really comes out in her situation. But I feel like we all go through those things or we all have experienced that. So for that fan to try to judge her based off of, you know.
I feel like we all be knowing better though. I feel like we really all, like growing up, you know, we all know better. Like, don't mess with that boy. Don't mess with him. Don't talk to him. This is the kind of man you should be with, blah, 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 blah. But until you're like in that situation, that goes out the window. Like you can't be judging people because like we all do things that we know better, should do better, and we do it.
Exactly. Don't touch the pot. It's hot, but you're gonna go there and like put your
Touch
finger
it
there and be like, let me test it out myself. You're gonna
let
go
me see
touch
how
it.
hot it is.
Exactly. I've learned that when you tell somebody not to do something, that's when they're gonna do it.
More.
Exactly. And you don't want to, like, who goes into a situation and be like, yeah, I'm gonna get pregnant and I know he gonna leave. Like, who's even thinking like that? And and shame on the fans for really going down on her right now. This is a sensitive time with her body, her mind, her soul. Everything is new. This is her first pregnancy. So it's just like the audacity is at an all-time high. No one is choosing not to be with their partner that they conceiving with. Do things happen? Absolutely. So I hope she focuses on this last leg of her journey, her last trimester, and really focuses on her health and really her labor, because that's really is about to happen. That's a whole new life is about to change for her. And this is the last thing she should be dealing with, is people having their opinion on who you chose as the father of this child. Again, no one chooses to not have that person in their life. You know what I mean? Until it happens. And then you got to figure that out. So it is what it is.
And sometimes things happen for a reason. It's tough that she probably thought that, she was going to be with someone and they were going to bring a child in this world together, but things happen. And I loved her response. She did not clap back. She said, if I knew better, I'd do better, but we learned to become better. So she was gracious in her response, and it's showing that, I'm going into a new year and I don't have to clap back. I'm giving y'all grace. Yeah. Because I have
especially like you need to keep your mental together. Like when you're pregnant, we ain't got time to be going on internet fighting with people. You are like going through it hormonally. Like that baby, they feel everything. Like I feel like whatever, if you're stressed out, your baby can sense that. So, good for her for not feeding into the BS. And
why do women always get that blame though, of like they chose the wrong partner?
Because we're brought up that way. I feel like we're always taught like a lady should do like be like this, do like this, don't talk to the bad boys, like we're kind of raised that way, whereas boys are raised to like, oh, you lost your virginity, great, like, oh, like, how many girls,
so your oats, like go,
yeah, it's different for how men and women are raised and how they're brought up and what's acceptable,
or when they make choices, how they're
exactly. So I mean, it's unfortunate that it's like that, but it's always been like that. I feel like since the beginning of time,
like that stigma of
all that, like it's just been that way.
Yeah, that's a good point, Ash. You're right. We're taught to like really be humble about it, keep your virginity, not, just really hold on to it as much as possible, where the men or boys are like, you know what? Go do you. Sow your oats or your wild oats or whatever the term is, and just go out there and be reckless with it. But at the same time, you forget that when you're being reckless with it, now you're bringing life into it, so it should be both. That's what I teach my children, like, it's not, we're not bringing any babies up in this house, you know what I mean? And it goes both ways. It's the boys and the girls. They both have to be taught to respect their bodies, things like that. So, yeah.
But that goes back to it. We was all taught. I mean, I was taught, and look what happened.
Don't touch the hot pot.
Don't touch that pot.
You was over there like. Thank you.
How do y'all feel about the clapback response? Well, she was very graceful about it, but do you feel like, I know we've all been in comments and clap back and our emotions get involved. What do you guys, y'all laughing? What do y'all think about that?
Like in these comments sometimes.
Right. How do y'all feel? Because we're on the other side of that too. You know what I mean? Like we should explain, like, what are y'all thoughts on people having their opinion on what we have to say or what we believe or our experience? What do y'all think about that? Just in general.
I mean, I feel like if they can type it out, they can get a clap back with it. So I'm going to give my response when I have the time. Sometimes like I'm done working and I'm bored and some just say, go on social media and you read some of this stuff. Let me get you together right now. But there's other times where I'm just too busy and I'm like, these people have no life.
Yeah.
And this is what they do for a living. Just sit here and just try to get to you. But I have to learn that it's not worth, stooping down to that energy to respond.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, I for the most part, I think I do pretty good at ignoring the trolls. You know what I'm saying? But every now and then, I be having to step in there, and most of the time I want to not explain myself, but I want to have a conversation, because what you just said was dumb as hell, and I can't just leave it there. I can't at that. Yeah. I'm not going after people who are saying dumb stuff or calling me names. I'm not. But if it's really about something and you got me completely misunderstood, and it's about something that are worth explaining or talking about, then I don't mind going in. And I feel like, some people you do have to use a curse word or two sometimes, because they be acting like fools and they don't understand. But, I think I do really good at not doing that, not going in there, because people are crazy these days. And at one of my open houses, I had a stalker come. People really are crazy. So I just don't want to make the crazier people crazier and try to come find me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little scared of them. So for the most part, I think we should just ignore those people and keep it moving, like Coi did.
Yeah, I never experienced it until we had that open house, and that lady.
Yeah. So at my open house,
she was coming looking.
This lady came to my open house, she backed up, waiting for me to come out, asking everybody coming out, "Are you Ashley? Are you Ashley?" So it's the end, we're leaving. It's just me and Sharelle and two of my other friends there. And she's like, "Are you Ashley?" I'm thinking it's an agent. Girl, it's a stalker. She's like, "Hey, my name is so-and-so, and I heard you got a problem with me." And I'm like, "Oh my God, who are you? What's your name?" I don't know. Cause I'm like, "Oh, wait, what's happening?" And she's like, "Yeah, I heard you got a problem with me. You're a realtor, right? I know who you are. You trying to be like me. You copy everything. I just crazy, just talking crazy." She said, "I wanted her to die." And I said, "How? What are you talking about? You're clearly confused." She scrolled to some pictures she showed me on my Instagram.
And it had humble baddies, but our face, our body.
It was a humble baddies picture, but our face covered all the other letters except for the D-I-E in baddie. And she said that picture was me saying I wanted her to die. So
security?
Yeah.
Listen, our guns were in the car.
Yeah.
You cannot do that. You can't roll up on nobody like that. And
I
told
her to calm her down, because she was really upset and I don't know what she was gonna do. It was a moment, you know what I mean? And so people really are crazy out here. So we have to be careful. We are being very transparent. We're on social media, we're doing our podcast, we're on TV, and we like to engage with people, but some people,
when there's hundreds,
I never witnessed that.
Yeah. That was a very scary moment, and I'm so glad.
Yeah, that is scary.
Because what if I was by myself? It was nighttime.
Well, it's also crossing over into your business too. At the end of the day, you are working, you are, navigating your space, and someone coming in there and want to put this energy out there is really disrespectful.
So yeah, I say all that to say, keep it cute with these people, because some people don't have it all, and
they internalize it. I think that's why I choose not to really internalize the comments. I know people are definitely going to have an opinion, and we do. Everyone does. But there's lines that get crossed when you start talking about children, family members. And then I get a little defensive, when I start reading comments about my people too, I start to internalize it,
my kid.
Yeah. I don't like that. I feel like I have to the lioness in me has to come out. But I feel like I try not to just go into social media knowing that people are going to comment, because they are. So I try not to just put that in my spirit, just because you can't please everybody.
I try to make sure that I engage more with the people who are showing love. I'm trying to comment back respond. People ask questions.
Yeah.
Respond to the positivity.
Yeah, exactly. Respond to the
Yeah,
positivity and then let everything else go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's instant. It's an instant comment, instant gratification, very much instant. You know, we got to go home. We got to raise kids. We got to feed them. We got to work. We got to do all these other things. So I get that. I get that.
Yeah, so sometimes it's better. Shout out to our girl Coi, because she responded very well, and I know it's
very mature.
Times very mature. It's tempting at times where you just want to clap back, because where people just feel like they know your whole life story. It's like they're living your life, and they be dead as loud and wrong. But it's like
loud and wrong.
It's like you can't entertain that. Just move gracefully. Let's move like Coi from now on. And I'm gonna take my advice. Let's move like Coi.
Sharelle. We're gonna see. Let's see. I see it when I believe it. I mean, I believe it when I see it.
Ooh.
That part.
Question before we move on to our next topic. This is a good one. What good advice would you have told your 21-year-old self?
Well, if we talking about babies and men and stuff, my advice would be to any young lady: don't have sex with a man you wouldn't be prepared to have a baby with, first and foremost.
I like
that. Good one.
Yeah.
I like
At the
that.
end of the day, sex is for making babies. Period.
It is.
It ain't for pleasure too.
I was like, wait a minute.
The purpose of
what if you done making baby? What if you're done with reproduction and you just want to get that good feeling?
That good feeling.
You just, in your mind, you're engaging in an act where it's a possibility that a child can be conceived. So just always keep that in mind. And I feel like that's smart. That keeps you from having sex with fuckboys. Like that keeps you from giving your body away to people who don't deserve
it. Those soul ties.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I was pregnant.
Yeah. Just take a second and be like, does he deserve my body? Does he deserve? Can I have a child? If I were to get pregnant today, would he be the kind of guy that I want to have a relationship with for the next 18 years? Like, think about it.
Like, and really further than 18. Let's be 100.
Right. But I mean, for sure, the next 18 years. So it's like, I think if you think about who you're having sex with in that way, it might save you a few times.
Yeah.
You know?
It's interesting you said 21. I was actually pregnant with Erykah at 21. And so it was like bittersweet. So what I would tell my 21-year-old self is just you wait, because it actually worked out for me, obviously, because she was the first of 4. And, so it's like that story happened and I wouldn't change anything about it. But it was also a different situation. We had financial assistance. We had help. You know what I mean? We could have... It's a different way of life. But at the same time, I tell my kids this now, because my oldest, Array, will be 20. I'm like, look, you can't afford a child. You can't afford it. It just is what it is. It's a different situation. And you're selfish. You like to go shopping. You like to go do your thing. Have fun and be the 21-year-old self. Like, I couldn't even go drink at 21, turning 21. You know how it's like, oh, let's go celebrate. You're now 21, because I was pregnant. So, which I don't regret anything. My path is my path. But like, just at 21 is such that precious age of you just don't know shit. You really figuring things out. So have those adventures. That's what I would say. What about you, Rel? What would you tell your 21-year-old self?
I would tell my 21-year-old self to, slow down and live life. Slow down, but still live life. I was married at 21, so it was different for me. I felt like I had to do everything so fast that I didn't get to enjoy, my young adulthoods, because I was an early mom, and I would that's the main advice I would say.
Yeah. I like that.
21, we feel like we grown though. At 20,
we do.
Oh, I can buy alcohol. I can drink. I can do,
Yes.
even though we was drinking earlier than 21.
Like, oh, I'm
Definitely
grown.
think you grown. I can gamble. I can do this.
At 21. I was a homeowner at 21. It's like I'm in the military. You can't do nothing. I got a military ID card.
Yeah, I feel like I grew up fast too in my 20s, just being a mother and traveling and having homes and just really access and privilege. So young too. It was a lot. It's a whirlwind, but
I was far away. I didn't have any family. I was in a whole
that's a lot.
North Carolina, all my family in Alabama. So it was just like me, my child, my husband, and I'm a full grown adult.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. That was a great question, by the way.
That is.
Yes.
All right, let's get into it, y'all. We got our little star, Ari's son. How do you say his name?
Yosohn.
Your son. Is it your son or Yosohn?
Yosohn, I think.
Yosohn. Ari, don't kill us.
Oh, guys.
Yoson's name. Yosohn snaps crash his mommy/son carnival date with Ari Fletcher. These kids be tired of these people coming into their lives. I don't know if y'all paid attention, but he has a big personality. Like he speaks, he says whatever he wants to say. He just expresses himself very well. But apparently, he don't play about his mama and his time.
I love it.
What happened was the two stepped out for a fun night at the carnival, but what was supposed to be a chill mommy-son date quickly turned into a full-on public reaction, whatever. I shared a clip on her IG story showing the two walking through the fair, but things took a turn when a growing crowd of fans started trailing them. The energy was loud, the excitement was real, and extra screams. Yosohn screamed out, "I can't do this." Video already played it. He said, "I can't do this. Like, y'all gotta let these children be children, these kids alone." But you know what? I say Ari probably needs to pull back from showing so much of his personality on social media.
That's what I was gonna say.
Because at the end of the day, these kids are still kids.
I agree.
And people become fans. They even become fans.
I was gonna say she just needs to not post where she is.
That too.
Not posting her son. I mean, that's a personal choice too. But I feel like if she never posted where she's at and she's at a very public place, like the fair is or the carnival is, it's a out in the open type environment. It's almost like she was looking for the attention. Like, I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, if you post in your celebrity, you post where you are, real time. There's a million people there around. It's kind of like, well, what did you expect? You know what I'm saying? But I think that comes with this day and age, like celebrities, they have to stay relevant. So they're always posting or whatever. And I get that. But I think, if you have your kids around, you should respect their energy, their space. And, they don't want to be the celebrity. They're not the celebrity. So, I think maybe next time don't do that because that he doesn't like that. He wants his mommy time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it can be very much traumatizing. And going back to what we were talking about a little bit earlier too, with people just pulling up on you, if you posting where you are in real time, like, "Hey guys, I'm at the fair," and then obviously people are pulling up or they're going to be at the same location. They're going to notice that you're there and look for you. And, you're really putting it in. It becomes mentally taxing too on everyone that's around you, especially these children. He obviously is reacting and it's triggering for him. So, as a mom, I'm sure she was very much a little taken aback by it, because if he's emotional about it, that means he's screaming out for I need some help. This is too much. And I would try to, choose some places that are a lot more exclusive and really not so much out there and open. Obviously you want to take your children to the carnival, but it's a hat, it's friends, it's security, it's a way you move. And, seeing Ari, and I don't want to blame her for anything, but she's very much a public figure and people see her. And so I would tone it down. I would be in opposite of what I usually wear, so people don't really know it's me. I would try to like really suppress that and really try to do that, because we've had to do that before. Like, just there's a way that you have to teach your kids how to maneuver. Living in New York, you go down the street, I have to wear a hat and lip gloss just because there's paparazzi on the corner looking just for something, and it's just a way that you have to teach our children, because they didn't ask to be put in these situations, of public persona. But there's ways that you have to still teach these children how to, understand, like, these are people will come up to you. And I would have had to remove him from the situation just to protect my child. That's a tough one.
Yeah, you just have to be mindful.
Very mindful.
Even if she didn't post it, she's like a high profile individual, and he has a big personality. So when people see you in public, they're going to want their fan shop. They're going to want to come up to you, but they're not thinking, like, at the end of the day, this is still a little child. Respect that. It happens with Serenity. We'll be in the airport and they'll be like, French fry, hey, French fry, French fry, French fry. And I'm like, just, hey, keep it moving. Like, so I try to tell chat, like, let's not post the kids too much. I don't post my kids a lot. You don't see them on my social media because it's too much until they're ready to make the decision of they want to be on social media like that, then out loud. But it's just, let them be kids. Let the kids be kids. I know another child, what's her name? Kim's daughter. North be going in on her fans. Y'all remember when she was shooting birds at the people and rain statements?
Yeah.
These kids want to be kids. Let these kids be kids.
They do want to be kids. But it's like, unfortunately, I mean, I think people have to understand too, like, these are people's jobs. This is how they, make an income. And they're also parents. They're wearing many hats, so like, there's a time and a place where you just don't want to be a celebrity. Sometimes you just want to take your child to the carnival. You just want to go to the grocery store, things like that. I feel like people have to also respect when they see people like fans and when you see a celebrity or whatever out, and they're with their people, like family or on a date or things like that, respectfully give them their space. I know it's shocking. You're like, ooh, I didn't expect to see X, Y, and Z. Yeah. But it has to be a mutual respect of, like, they're doing regular stuff. They are not working right now. They're not the Wolverine from X-Men. They are not, the basketball player that's dribbling down the court right now. They are having their father right now. They are getting groceries because they got to cook food tonight. Like, it has to be some kind of like social awareness of when you see celebrities.
Well, people don't care. People like, this is a once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
And like, let me go ahead. They're not thinking about, family awareness.
They're not. No, they're not.
All they thinking about.
Beyonce. I don't know.
Exactly. Like,
I'm sure her bodyguard not gonna let you get that close. He'd be like, back up.
I'm gonna be right up in her face when I'm crazy people.
Like, what we eating tonight?
Well, at the end of the day, I don't blame it on the fans. I blame it on, at the end, it's our responsibility as parents to make sure, our kids are comfortable. Yeah. And, because we are public figures. So I think as parents, we just need to be more self-aware of when we're going in these big crowds, how to protect our kids and, let them be kids and enjoy themselves. So maybe if we're going to go out in a busy time frame, like if I'm going to a carnival with my kids, I like to go because I want to ride rides. I ain't got time to be paying these lines. I ain't got time to be paying these extra fees to skip the line, and you only can skip certain ones. I'm going to go when it's low key, quiet, and the kids can have a good time. So just be cautious and think about the child.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, well, clearly he's upset. I would be up too. People ruin it.
Baby, your son got a big personality. I need him on my
that too.
He gonna tell you like it is.
Yeah, it's tough, but you got to be mindful of, like,
big personality, because he's speaking up for himself and he's being very vocal about it. Some kids, they just like shut down. So I think that's good that he is.
Definitely has awareness, right? He's aware of his boundaries at such an age like that, for sure. I've been real mindful about, like, sharing my location too. I don't post until I leave, just for those reasons. And it's tough because when you want to really have a good time and be in the moment. So that's why I've been trying to be more conscious of that, of just really enjoying the moment and really just enjoying where I'm at, who I'm with, and not really just like posting so much anymore about that. I just want to keep those memories intact now.
Yeah.
Very more protective over it.
Yeah, that's smart. Posting later is always the best way to go.
Yeah, for sure.
My question to you guys is, at what point does fame stop being fun? Like, do you think celebrities ever wish they can go back to being just regular people at times?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it gets old not being able to just do like regular, normal, everyday stuff, not being able to just go to the grocery store and get your own food, just not being able to be outside. Like, I can't imagine, without people like being in your face. But I think it comes with the territory, so I think it's just one of those things that they probably just have to like suck up to the job or chalk up to the job,
Yeah, I believe it's a lot in balance too. What are the other hobbies? What other places can you go and do things where you can really be yourself and not have to deal with people? I feel like that's when you have to start getting more private and being like maneuver a little bit differently, just like private rooms or just those kind of things. It's definitely, I don't think there's a regret, because obviously if this is your job, and this is your craft or your art, and obviously you're a public figure because of that celebrity, you can't help it. You know what I mean? You can't not do your passion. You cannot not follow your dreams just because it becomes too much. And people do. They retire, they stop, they pivot, they go and do something else, which is all great. But I feel like, you just have to learn how to maneuver a little differently, whether it's security, whether it's privacy of different ways of travel, just those things where you can still center yourself and your being to where you want to still do your job, but then also you can still be yourself on the other side of it.
I really like it when I see like there's certain celebrities, like, I don't know, I can't think of them right now, but like who you see them outside, like they're not afraid to like go out and like, they don't necessarily have a whole bunch of security with them, but you might see them out at the grocery store. You might see them out with their friends for dinner. Like, I like that because it's like, I feel like when you try to like, if you're a celebrity, you try to just be mysterious, like nobody knows where you are, like what you do. If you're not like a human being, you're not out to eat with your family, like regular, normal, everyday stuff. Like it humanizes you to like, for us to see you out, being a regular person. And I think that kind of too, I mean, if they don't get, bogged down with fans, but I feel like just seeing people out more often, doing normal things could probably help, But yeah, I mean, it come with the job, so you can't complain.
That's true.
I get that. What do y'all think about even just kids in general growing up in the public eye like that? Because he didn't ask to be here, like to deal with it, but he has to by default. What are you guys' thoughts on that with children? And, do they have to have the same thought process? Do they have to have the same caution? He didn't ask celebrity.
I feel like with the kids, you can just read them and tell. Like with my kids, one likes to be in the public eye, the other one don't. Very low key. So don't pressure it. Don't force it up on them. You can't help that you are in the public eye, but I mean, you just talk with your kids and you ask them and respect their wishes, even though they're young. They do have point of views at their early age, and they'll let you know how they feel.
Yeah.
Mine will tell me in a minute. Delete. No,
sometimes it can affect their mental, like you forcing it up on them.
Yeah,
you see so many kids, like these Disney kids who were great stars, and they pushed them, and now Orlando Brown.
Yeah,
like a lot of them are just went a whole different route what we expected as a child, how they were as young children. So it's just, you just have to be careful, because you don't know what the world, what society can do to cause their mental space to go a different route. And like now they just
Yeah.
Gone. So
I agree.
Just have to be careful.
I agree.
Very much so.
Oh, it's a lot, y'all. It's a lot. Let's talk about Erykah Badu.
I know, right? It's so bad.
Let's talk about our girl Erykah Badu.
Yeah, let's switch it up a little bit. Yeah. Let's change the energy.
My girl Erykah Badu. Lex, did you hear about Erykah Badu?
I saw a picture.
My
picture with her, and she had a big ass. Was that her ass, or was that fake?
That was BBL. Shade.
I don't know if it was cosplay. It was shade. You think it was shade? Because we saw that. We saw that outfit. You said what?
I said, was it bold shade or a bold statement, or you think she was just having fun?
I mean,
I think it's passive pettiness. I mean, that's
what
the
was
Pisces.
the statement she was trying to make?
For some of the,
like what?
They said she was shading the BBL trend
because it was enormous.
Because I don't fault anything when you do with your body, but some people just get outrageous. They got bad BBL. And they start bad BBL.
Bad.
Y'all done seen them.
I see them all the time.
Yes,
but especially right here. Booty.
I was gonna say we live in Miami, guys. Like
the booty don't match the BBL. These BBL killing y'all. What's how that sound good? Booty looking like a ant booty.
Yeah.
It's out of control.
It's crazy. No, it really is crazy. But I mean, Erykah Badu comes from, a different generation. She comes from the natural body.
Yosohn.
Yeah. So of course, that's not her thing. Of course, she's like, oh, that's what y'all like, let me make fun of it or whatever, because that's not her style. That's not her essence. You know what I mean? But I think you better call Dr. Miami.
She's on that call Tyrone.
No, she's telling them to call Dr. Miami and fix that thing, baby.
I've been hearing a lot, but I've been hearing a lot of negative stuff about BBLs. I feel like they're still very popular, but now I feel like there's a trend of people who are saying,
get rid of them.
They don't like them anymore.
They're starting to take them out. Yeah. I feel like social media kind of impacted that, and really low key. Let's take it all the way to the Kardashians, especially Kim. That curvy look, that very much enhanced look, and we've been tugging some curves and some heavy weight a long time, since before time. I'm the healthiest and curviest I've ever been in my life right now, and
yes,
I wouldn't change it.
Girl.
I wouldn't change it for the world. You know what I'm saying? So it's thank you so much, But it's just I know what I have back there. I love that muscle memory.
Not back there.
But I just feel like it's glamorized, and it became very much I want one of those too, because I'll have this more attention. But do you feel like social media has impacted the surge of BBLs, and now do you think social media will impact maybe the resurgence of it, just almost the decline, I should say, not the resurgence, but the decline of it?
Honestly, I think it's social media, it's men. That's all men talk about.
You think it's men?
They want big asses. That's what they want. That's what they like. That's what they glorify. So it's you have all these women dang, we try to get what the men want. We want their attention, so we're gonna do things. A lot of women are gonna do things okay, this is what he likes, so this is what I'm gonna get. So I feel
you sure it's not women trying to one up other women either?
One up competition.
Yeah, competition.
It's a mixture of everything.
Yeah, I feel like women do a lot for women now. Women want to have the best BBL, the best body, the best weave, the best nails. I mean, we know men like women. I feel like men are going to like women regardless. If we got a big ass, if we got a little ass, if we,
everyone has their own preferences.
Men, they are going to stick their thing in anything.
Anything.
So, know what I mean? I don't necessarily feel like it's
Not anything.
we're doing it for the men. I feel like we're doing it because, like you said, like kind of competition with other women. Like, oh, let me get the best body. Let me get the best hair, the best like the best of everything, you know, so I can look better than that girl. Not because I want to get that man. You know what I mean? Because in the same breath, they're like, you know, these men ain't worth it anyway. So it's like we not doing all this for the man.
It's not because of the man, but this is what men talk about. What I'm saying is
They
men
do.
talk about they like big asses. So if you don't have a big ass, you're gonna be like, these men talking about big asses. That's all they
still
talk
having
about. That's
sex
all
and they still pulling.
Of course, they're still having sex, but it's
like
glorifying.
me.
And not everybody can get a booty either. They just gotta go get some squats.
It's glorifying big asses. So what people gonna do? What women gonna do? Even men, shit. Some of these men out here,
they are.
I'm like, God,
yeah. I feel like it's a competition more so though. Everybody want to have the best everything.
The best everything, especially when you have access to it. You're just like, let me go and enhance it. This will make me feel better. I think it becomes an issue when you start to do everything.
It's like a thing of comparison. Keep going, you know, women are always we're always comparing ourselves to what we don't and do have. Like, I want what she got, you know. We always want what we don't have too. You know what I mean? Like, I want a big ass. Not really, but you know, a little something, but not enough to get a BBL, okay? Everybody wants to ask, but I don't want enough to get a BBL. But
actually,
I can give you a little bit.
I'm gonna eat these gummy bears and hopefully maybe
not the gummy bears.
You know what I mean? But I really think it's like a comparison thing. It's like, you know, what does she got? Okay, she got that. Okay, I'm gonna get a better one. You know.
Mm-hmm. That's how it is. And the lips.
Everything. Yeah. You know, but at the end of the day, I feel like it's like we still, again, we're born with a lot of this already.
Y'all heard about the BBL stinking?
Not the BBL stinking. What? Yeah.
How the BBL stink?
How the BBL
a very distinct smell. A very distinct.
Wait.
I ain't heard that before now.
Wait, time out.
Right in the comments, in the chat. What? I know people I've never smelt it.
A smell?
They said it's like.
That means if you have a bad one, like if you have that.
That's just you not washing your
hands. It's from people not getting the massages that you're supposed to get, like the lymphatic drainage. And so,
no, actually, That's from getting too much ass, and they don't know how to wash their ass after they done got all
but they
this
said
booty.
It's a specific from the BBL ones. They not saying it's about the natural big booty girls. They said the BBLs.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, these new BBLs, big booties, they ain't used to all that booty back there, so they don't know how to reach back there and wash their behind.
No, but they also said though it's because of the fat cells and they're not getting the lymphatic drainage or something like that, and then it starts sinking or some shit. I don't know.
Wow.
I heard that one. Chat, y'all heard of that?
We need to find out.
I don't know. Now, I may not get a BBL, but there's this thing I saw.
What'd you see? What'd you see?
What the hell you seen that?
What is that?
What is it?
It's where they break your ribs.
Oh no. Hell no.
And then you wear a corset and it's
to like make you cinch your waist. So cinch your waist to make your butt bigger.
No, it has nothing to do with your butt. My butt is gonna be my butt.
Actually, you don't have a waist.
Yes, but I'm like straight up and down, have like a curvy body. So my hips are like my ribs. Listen, okay, I know what I'm talking about. I know my body. Okay, listen.
No, but you ain't doing that.
Well, it looked a little intriguing.
Intriguing
ribs
on my ribs. That ain't nothing. I'm not adding.
That's just to make you just look like
my body. They not taking nothing now. It's just like
you just said they remove the
ribs. No, they just break them.
Well, no.
They just pop them out a little bit, and then you wear them.
Well, hell no.
That sounds painful.
That does. You would trust a doctor to go in and break your ribs?
I mean, I'm gonna be sleep.
I'm gonna be asleep. It's just
What? Okay, so all these bitches is going to all the other countries getting fucking BBLs, and y'all, everything. I can't go get a little broke rib or two. I don't understand.
Who got their ribs broke?
I don't know nobody personally.
Exactly.
Me either.
But I would like to find out more.
You're gonna be the test dummy.
Okay. I said, well, no, because I'm smart. I said, you know what? I'm gonna come back to this in a year or two, so they can get good.
At least you thought about it.
They can get good at it,
and thinking about it,
and then I'll revisit.
Someone said the corset surgery is usually done on today women who don't want to have any more kids.
Oh, it's called corset surgery. That's you. That sounds like you.
I don't want to have no more kids.
I'm a good candidate.
The corset. That's what it's called now. So it gives you that cinch waist of a corset. Okay, so I have seen. I
done seen someone with
like irregularly small. I'm just trying to get a little shape. You know what I mean?
Like that little Coke bottle.
Yeah. Somebody said allegedly Janet Jackson got it done.
Okay, so Janet, send me a doctor, please. Share.
The humble baddie you are.
What doctor she went to? Because if Janet went to them, then okay, they good enough. I might not be able to afford that though.
I don't know.
That's some different money.
I'm all for everyone doing what they need to do for themselves, whatever makes your confidence go. But I feel like there's extremes to everything. Oof.
Yeah, just a couple ribs. That's it.
My ribs hurt now thinking about it.
Me too.
Like I need mine. I want them all.
I love all this chunky chunk. Wow, that is crazy. Enough about the BBL talk, because Ashley that said she want the corset surgery, the BBL stink, the BBL booty juice.
BBL stink.
They got the BBL booty juice.
They just said they need that in the chat. I still got to find out about that. The BBL booty juice is
BBL booty juice.
Yeah. It's a thing apparently.
I can't wait to find that out.
Reporting on what the people said.
Okay, y'all. We all grew up in the church, right?
Yep.
Our good old good. Is Marvin Sapp a pastor? Pastor. You know he
is he pastor or reverend? Is he any of that? Yeah, gospel singer.
A gospel singer. He got some good hits. He saw the best in me, but we ain't see the best in him.
I see what you did there.
We ain't see the best in Marvin Sapp when he told them people to told them ushers to lock the door. Lock the door and sit y'all behind down, because y'all ain't going nowhere but out to eat, to feed y'all souls. I need y'all to empty y'all money and donate. We ain't going nowhere till we raise all this money.
I saw that.
He definitely spelling profit wrong instead of with a PH. He put an F in there. Profit. He was trying to get some coins.
Profit. And the ones that's co-signing with his foolishness,
co-signing?
Some of the deacons and pastors that was behind him.
So they were trying to get money for him, or this is for the building fund, or this is for
the building fund. You're not the business.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm for tithing, it's obviously in the church.
It's the love
offering, yes. Like
they got all types of offerings.
Past the appreciation.
It's the love offering.
Yeah.
So my grandfather used to be, he passed away. He was a presiding elder. I grew up in the church, and
that's a big deal.
One time in all my years of growing up, being on the usher board, being in the choir, being, vacation Bible school, everything, did we have like 5 offerings. These new churches, they locking doors, they put in security. It ain't even the usher guarding those, it's the security, and you ain't going nowhere until you got about 6 offerings.
Yeah.
Now, I've never seen nothing like that a day in my life, and I grew up in the South. Half of my family was Baptist, half was Methodist AME.
Church.
And we had And when we took up offerings, we had a benevolent offering. And
the benevolent.
Yes. And then you had a sign.
What does that really mean anyway, right? What does that even mean anyway? We just tithing. We just sending it off.
No, but listen, I'm gonna tell you how our church operated. You had a sign up there of how much was collected each Sunday, service Sunday, right?
That's right.
You're going around, you singing your good old hymns. He's an on-time God. Yes, he is. When that money start passing around, but it was times where if someone oh yes, he is. when church members really need their bills paid. And my granddaddy would actually cut checks to make sure that the church members, their lights were on if they needed to pay their rent or whatever. Now it's like y'all just want these people to spend they rent money. It's the first of the month.
They laugh.
Everything.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't like
tithing is still 10%, right? Is it 10% is the tithing percentage? And I don't know. Still in church, taxes, they pay no taxes. But we starting to see pastors with the suits, with the Gucci, the Fendi, the Prada, everything, the jets, private jets, and these mega churches. But it's like, you're paying for a lot. The smoke, the graphics, the strobe lights.
I'm gonna tell y'all a story. I went to go support one of my friends at a church in Florida, and the church was amazing, but it was pastors traveling from all up north, and you got to be careful with them up north pastors because they be funneling money from the street.
Not the up north pastors.
Up north pastors.
Some of the up north, not everybody. Not everybody. But one of the pastors got up there to speak, and he had this big pinky ring on. He was decked out, and I said, I still have this text message. I text the group that I was with. I said, don't trust him. And if he come and try to lay his hands on y'all, do not let this man touch y'all because he ain't right.
Because he had that pinky ring on.
He had a big shiny pinky ring. I said, he's not right. There's something about him. Listen.
That was a telltale sign. He was over there like, look, I got after church, the pastor trying to touch people, lay his hands, and I said, I'm sorry, I don't let everybody lay their hands on me. I was taught not to let everybody put their hands on you. So 2 months later, fast forward, the pastor is locked up by the Fed.
No, he ain't.
I swear to God, PPP fraud.
PPP fraud, not PPP fraud.
Stealing from the churches and PPP fraud.
See?
Okay. And again, don't have to pay taxes. You don't have to pay taxes. You keep all them points.
Also, the pastor, like the leader of the church, I feel like should kind of separate themselves from the money part of it. Like in the church I grew up in, it was like the trustees, they did everything with money.
The trustee.
You know what I mean? Like, so it was no confusion. It wasn't one person that was in charge of all the money. It wasn't, you know what I mean? It was like a board of trustees who was in charge of collecting the money and, where the money. So they handled all of that. My dad was a trustee actually. And my mom was she was the, what was my mom? The secretary of the church. So we was in church, all day, every day too. And
all the time.
But fast forward to churches that I go to now regularly, they don't even take up the offering. You do it on your own. So you can do it online. You can put it in the box in the hallway,
very discreet.
On your own, but it's all done on every now and then they'll take up a special offering for something or whatever. But your everyday tithes that you do, that's on you. And I really like that because when we moved to Florida and we were looking for a church, we went to a lot of churches and they were really pressing us to give because, they knew Phil played football, so they oh, okay, big money, and then walked in. Okay, so now they started preaching about giving and stuff.
The big money.
Oh, baby, them scriptures.
They
gotta get the same. We done heard the same damn thing every sermon, every Sunday. They talking about giving. So
there's 100 people in here.
They mess with your conscience.
I need some of y'all to sow a seed for 5,000. I need 20 of y'all to sow a seed for $200, and I need the rest of y'all to sow a seed for $100. And all the seeds are sown.
Yeah.
And then they put in the program, who put what, like, they're the $10,000 donors. You know, it was the bragging rights too, to be in the pamphlet, you know, that you donated so much or gave this much, you know, so I feel like it was also a little bit of clout. That's probably one of our first examples of clout back in the day too, like going to church. But I feel like you still have to be members of whatever your religion is. They still take up funds for everything. You know, even at the temple, we have to pay for services and Shabbat dinners and people who are underprivileged and things like that. So it doesn't matter, church, temple, mosque.
I just feel like today's from me growing, I just feel like from me growing up from when I was a child, church is totally different. I don't consider a lot of these churches. I feel like a lot of pastors have taken advantage of what it is to really serve and service, you know, the Lord and the community. I feel like they have turned it into a business. That's right, bro. Profitable business.
Yeah. Yeah, and Marvin Sapp, he's the gospel singer. He's worth $4 million. Shutting the doors like that. I know this happened like over the summer.
And you worth $4 million.
You told them to sit down.
People do. They will be like, I gotta pay the church.
Yeah, it's sad. Some people will pay that. Some people will give they all and let their rent go.
And they know that. So do you think they're preying on those people, on those vulnerable people who, you know, they'll give their $.
And you praying in the wrong way, praying with a PREY instead of praying. Yeah, it's not cool. It's not cool.
Yeah, I didn't like that. And I see it happen a lot. And
the doors though.
Maybe
he got aggressive.
Maybe he was trying to get all this attention. Like we're talking about him now. So maybe he's pulling like a stunt and he wanted to be blasted all over the internet right now so we could be talking about him. And
this happened over the summer. It's just now coming.
It's just now being viral.
Recirculated, going viral.
I wonder why it's just now coming out.
No telling. I don't know.
He sent it to the blogs.
You think so?
I mean, people do that. Why is it just now coming out? Like
something is a little fishy. I don't know.
But it just you won't catch me coming to a church that's forcing the congregation to pay, and you ain't leaving until.
And then for me also, it's the thing of like, if I don't see, like, if I know like this church is pulling in a lot of money and I don't see y'all actually doing stuff for the community, but you a nice new car and a nice house, and you know, where is the money going? Are you in the community? Are you helping these people that is keeping the church running? Right. You know what I mean?
That's right. Right.
It's not the same. It's definitely not the same.
Yeah, well, do you all feel like you frequent church as much as you like? Do you all go to church as much as you did growing up in it? Because you were kind of not really, I don't want to say forced, but you know, when you have your families involved with the church, you had to go. It just became a way of life. Do you feel like that was a little too much in your childhood to where it trickles to where you are now, where you might not go as much? Like maybe had that energy from childhood of having to go to now where you can choose to go?
I don't think, me, because like I said, my grandfather was a presiding elder. We were PK grandkids. I enjoyed going to church. We went to Sunday school. Some of my cousins learned how to read just by going to Sunday school. So I enjoyed it. The morale was there. It taught us how to be very respectful, get closer to God. And I made the choice to get closer to God. I actually spoke in the sermon. I enjoyed church. I enjoyed going as a child. I felt like what changed me from going how I used to go so much as a child and a young adult was the changes in the church. As I traveled, the church in the South is totally different from when I moved up north or when I moved down south of Florida. It wasn't the same. And I felt like it started slowly evolving into a business. We didn't get the same, like when you in a good church, you can just feel it.
Yes.
I didn't have that same feeling from when I was in the churches from the South. I felt like it was just, let me say this, say what I need to say, and they just emphasized just on when it was time to gather offerings. Not all churches. I do have some amazing churches. If I'm in Tampa, my number one church is Love First. Shout out to Pastor Joe Cousins. He was on Wax Series, but I feel like I'm back when I was a little child in those church homes when I'm going to Love First. So it's not every church, but it's hard to find a good church.
It is hard to
feel
find.
like you're where you need to be.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm from Georgia, and before that we lived in South Carolina. So I'm used to like a very Southern Baptist church experience. And I just really haven't gotten that pretty much since I left home. But I honestly, truthfully cannot blame that on why I don't go to church as much as I used to. And I really am convicted about it. Like I think about, I got like the family, we need to go to church every week. Every week it's on my brain. Like we need to go to church.
But the intent is there.
Because like, I know like I can watch it online. I can watch it on TV. I kind of get a little lax with it. I'm like, okay, it's okay, Ash. Like, don't shut yourself out. You can just watch it on TV, and sometimes I do, but most times I don't. So it's like, I really feel like that's the goal of mine this year is to get back to going to church more. Because I do come from a family where we believe in going to church and spending time with the Lord in his house. So, even though church is different, it might look different. I haven't done my part. I can't say 100% that I've gone out and looked for whatever it is I feel is missing, but I think it's important, regardless to have like my children in the church, because I, like Sharelle was saying, feel like I have very distinct memories there. I feel like it's definitely shaped who I am, my relationship with the Lord, and it's kept me, so I think it's important and I just need to do better.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ash. It is very much becomes more convenient now just to go ahead and click a link. Even if you're not in the same city with that same pastor that you like, or you like a sermon, you can go now on YouTube and grab a sermon that you missed and you can still get the word. But you're in the comfort of your home. I feel like COVID really made that happen, where it made that access to your favorite pastor more accessible, which is great. Like my mom lives here in Miami, but she streams a pastor from Chicago that she likes. And every Sunday morning, she's in the comfort of her home, watching the sermon and taking, her notes, and then sending me this and that from the pastor. Like, it was a good service today. So it's still there, rooted in it, like, because just having that religious anchor in your spirit, we can't get away from. So I think it's great for the children to have some kind of sense of purpose and sense of peace, where whatever your religion is, that you can fall back on and just have that comfort in your spirit and your soul. So however way you can get to it, whether it's online, going to a church, or getting some notes, clicking on the link, whatever the case may be.
Like, I want my kids to have like the old school vacation Bible school experience.
Yeah,
like that was experience
fun.
That I feel like, if you went there, like
that was fun.
It was, right?
And you look forward to the end of the week trip.
Yeah, because you working during the day, you getting your notes.
You had your little boyfriend that week during vacation.
Yeah. It was the time. Like, these are experiences that I want for my kids. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm like,
look at us, how we blushing and having nostalgia moments now, just like tapping back into our childhood because of that sense of community, kids running around and you breaking out in these sessions and having good talks. And I remember that because we used to have the little pamphlets and you learn your scripture and then talk about it and understood
even
it better.
Things like Easter Sunday speeches, like Easter speech, like, remember you had the little thing you had to memorize. You had to memorize congregation and you better not mess up. Like,
don't forget the outfit too. It was laid out.
Being in the choir, praise dance.
Oh, the praise dance! I still remember some of my praise dance.
The praise dancing. Then when they had like not children's church, but like when the children take over on Sunday.
Oh yeah, youth Sunday service. I was used to be on third Sunday.
Third Sundays.
I used to like to do the announcement. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, Pastor so-and-so. Like that was my thing. I used to that was my little part. I felt special. But yeah, I miss that. You know, it's not just about it's a lot of memories, a lot of things that like obviously shaped all of us because we are sitting here.
Mm-hmm.
It just sucks. Like I feel like my kids can't experience what we experience, but I'm truly grateful because I still keep God in their lives. We do pray together. I pray together with my kids, and it just shows like we come from a strong background of just being close to God and putting God first. I was excited. My daughter got up Sunday. She called me. She was like, "Mom, I just left church. Can you send me some money to go out to eat?" She had her 2 friends with her, and I was just like,
"Yes,
so proud of you."
Going to church on your own. When your kids going to church on your own, I'm sure that's amazing. Because right now I'm gonna have to like,
that's a great feeling.
In the core, like we going to church.
Listen, we had the van coming to pick us up. Yeah. I was like, "Girl, you living the good life. You got your car, drive to church." We used to have to wait on the van to come get us and take us back home.
Man,
we used to be there all day long. And then when they used to have
the singing.
When they used to have the anniversaries, like the church anniversary.
Oh yeah, the pastor anniversary.
I used to be at church all day. And then when they used to invite other churches to come and sing and do.
Yes, that's the singers. You have a sing off with the different churches.
I love that good music. Not the sing off because it's real. It's real.
You better not fall asleep either. I'm out.
Yes. Oh, that church pitch.
The pitch.
Church pitch. And my grandma give me that look. She had her glasses and she rolled her eyes, and that closed eye be still rolling. Mm-hmm. You better get your act together.
See, that's
I love this.
And the candy, y'all remember the little they was shaped like peppermints, but they taste like cinnamon.
No, it was the strawberry ones. That's what they got.
The strawberry.
Yeah, the strawberry. Like, what is the name of it?
Or butterscotch. When you had butterscotch,
they were watermelon, strawberry or watermelon. And then sometimes you get the lucky ones that had the chewy stuff in the middle. Part on the outside.
Why did we all live the same life? Like,
yeah, but you got mad when you saw that it was like at the bottom stuck at the purse too, because you like you can't even eat this one. Like it's been sitting there a long time. But yeah, the pinch. I used to like when they would let us dismiss like the little kids. They could dismiss and go to like children's church or like out of now that they've done certain parts of the service. Yeah, because they can't sit still. It's a lot.
Oh.
But my stomach will start rumbling, so I would look forward to like brunch afterwards too. That was always good.
Y'all had brunch. We had Sunday dinner.
Well, Sunday dinner too, because something was on a crock pot that's been simmering and marinating real good.
Yeah.
Until when you come back, definitely want to eat afterwards.
What was y'all favorite old school church song? Pick one.
Oh, His Eyes on the Sparrow.
Okay.
I had to think.
That's a good one too. Coming up yonder.
Going up yonder. Oh. To be with my Lord. Mine was Your Grace and Mercy.
Okay. Mine was There's a Bomb in Gilead. Remember that one? There is a bomb in Gilead. Yes. That's not really old school, but that was like one of my favorites from back then.
Those was the good old days. Y'all let us know what y'all favorite old school Southern gospel song was, and who had the best old school gospel song out of us three. No.
Let me think of one. I'll think before we go.
Mine was Your Grace and Mercy.
That's a good one.
Pasqua edition.
Your Grace and Mercy. I like well, it's not really old, but it's like Stand Stand. Dun, dun, dun. I love all these good spiritual hymns.
Yeah.
Miss that good music. Miss that good music, guys. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you guys.
Is it Humble Baddies
we-
mail time?
Is it? I think it might be.
All right. Who's got it?
Want me to read it? I got it right here. Want me to speak on it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. Hey, Humble Baddies. This is from Kayla from Dallas, Texas.
Okay. Hey, Kayla.
Hey, Kayla.
Hey, Humble Baddies. Love y'all so much, and I need your help because this situation is messy. I've been dating this guy for 8 months, and everything's been going great. At first, I kept him to myself, but about 3 months ago, I finally introduced him to my family and friends. All good, right? Wrong. This past weekend, he hit me with the "we need to talk" text. Naturally, I started panicking, thinking the worst. And guess what? It kind of was the worst because he used to date one of my close friends. Now he swears it was not that serious. But the gag is he met her 3 months ago and said nothing until now. I feel like he should have told me the second he realized they knew each other. So what do I do, baddies? Do I keep it moving and stay with him? Or is this a red flag that means it's time to go? Would you feel betrayed or am I overreacting?
I think she's overreacting a little bit. Like, to just let it go, I would first communicate and see what's going on before I just let it go. Just communicate and find out what happened.
I'm confused. So, okay, so they've been dating for 8 months. And then he just met her 3 months ago. So he was dating both.
The friend. So like you say like, hey guys, she never told her friend that she was dating this guy. And so now she introduced him to everyone like, hey y'all, this is my boo. We've been rocking. And then he was like, we need to talk because he actually really know friend.
I mean, I feel like he's trying to be open, and have a conversation. So he's trying. It's not like, I don't feel like he's trying to be sneaky. He probably had to like muster up his confidence to say something. So I don't think, that she needs to run or anything. I don't think it's a red flag. It might be a yellow flag.
Like caution.
Yeah. But, see how he moves after this. And then also like follow up, like ask all the questions. Okay, so where did y'all meet? How did y'all meet? Blah, blah, blah. Who else have you talked to? Like, who else, who else are you dating? Like, just have enough follow-up questions and make sure you get the answers so you can move accordingly.
That's true.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, because it's a big step when you start to meet the family and friends. Obviously, that means he is serious. But then I'm glad he did communicate and you didn't find out way later. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I feel like that's a good thing that he did step up. He was very like, we need to talk, which is scary for everybody. It's not just whenever you get that text, we need to talk. Your heart starts to beat fast. You start internalizing things. Right. So I feel like he definitely showed a great example of communication. Like, look, we have talked before, and I feel like sometimes it's tough to hear, but you got to hear it. You have to understand it, because you don't want to now go be out another time and then like you see this person and no one knew except for those two. That's when it becomes a red flag and very much shady. So I'm glad he did say something. That way they can move forward with it, or she can say how she feels about it, or she can say that it bothers her or whatever the case may be. But at least it's on the table.
Yeah. I agree. Good.
Well, that's a great answers. What was her name again, Alexis? Kayla
from Dallas.
Kayla from Dallas. We hope you take our advice. I think, we gave you shouldn't give it up this quick. Like, communication, y'all talk it out. It's not the end. It's not, not a bad guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, good luck with that, Kayla.
Good luck.
All right, you guys, as always, we thank you all for tuning in and sending your advice, questions, concerns over to us. If they're good, we're gonna read them. If y'all want to send, y'all have a dilemma, y'all have a problem, y'all can contact us at contact@humblebaddies.com. Make sure y'all send them in. We want to read them. We want to give y'all the best advice from the Humble Baddies.
That's right.
But we thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you all follow, subscribe, tell your family members, tell your church members, tell your pastor. Tune in to Humble Baddies and subscribe to Humble Baddies at Humble Baddies Podcast on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. Until next time, we'll see y'all again on Wednesday.
Yeah. Bye.
See you Wednesday.